Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where we keep you current on the shifting dynamics of Iraq's currency and its growing influence on the global financial stage. Today's developments are far from routine. They mark a dramatic escalation in the conversation around the dinar. Once dismissed as the relic of a post-war economy, the Iraqi dinar is now commanding global attention. The shift has been building quietly for years, but it's only now that the momentum has hit them. Behind the scenes, institutional investors and seasoned analysts are moving fast, and the dinar is no longer a fringe topic. It's now at the center of discussions about global currency alignment, regional financial power, and long-term economic reform. At the heart of this surge is Iraq's aggressive push toward reform. The country has taken meaningful steps, years in the making, to rebuild credibility in the international financial community. Reforms once seen as aspirational are now operational. Tighter banking controls, digital modernization, and regulatory enforcement have replaced the old patchwork systems. Iraq has moved beyond merely stating intentions, it's now executing them. The result is a dinar that's starting to reflect actual economic strength rather than speculative value. Currency markets thrive on fundamentals, and Iraq is finally presenting the kind of indicators that move investors: large oil reserves, growing exports, rising foreign currency holdings, and a coordinated monetary policy focused on stabilizing the dinar. These aren't abstract concepts. They are measurable realities that are shifting the way Forex traders, economists, and governments view Iraq. One of the most telling signs is Iraq's recent move to reduce dollar dependence. By minimizing reliance on foreign currencies in key trade and policy sectors, Iraq has reclaimed control over its monetary direction. This isn't just symbolic. It's a declaration of economic sovereignty that global markets have no choice but to respect. Another major component is Iraq's expanding use of the dinar in international trade agreements. As more deals are signed using IQD rather than the US dollar or other dominant currencies, the global demand for the dinar climbs. Higher demand creates stronger upward pressure on its value. This isn't speculative, it's fundamental economics playing out in real time. Talk of a revaluation used to be limited to niche forums and speculative blogs. That's no longer the case. Major financial institutions are now publicly acknowledging the shifts happening in Iraq. Whether the government chooses to allow the dinar to float freely or peg it to a broader currency basket, expectations are growing that a substantial change in its value is on the horizon. And when that adjustment happens, it could dramatically reshape Forex positions across the board. It's rare to see a currency from a formerly unstable region rise to global relevance, but that's exactly what seems to be happening here. If projections hold and the dinar revalues even to $0, 35 cents USD or higher, the implications are enormous. Trade contracts denominated in IQD would need to be restructured. Oil pricing, supply chain agreements, and central bank reserve strategies would all have to be recalibrated. In short, this wouldn't just be a local currency event, it would echo across multiple financial ecosystems. Countries that engage heavily with Iraq, from energy companies to government partners, would need to adjust quickly. Central banks currently holding Iraqi dinar could see major shifts in reserve valuation. In some parts of the Middle East, this may even prompt other nations to re-examine their own currency pegs and economic policy alignment. For the Iraqi people, this is about more than money. The value of their national currency has long been held down by decades of sanctions, conflict, and foreign interference. A revaluation signals more than a policy shift. It's a reclamation of identity. The average citizen may not see immediate overnight changes, but over time, a stronger dinar means cheaper imports, greater purchasing power, and improved national morale. These outcomes in turn draw foreign investment, which leads to jobs, infrastructure, and better services. It's a chain reaction of economic growth rooted in a currency realignment. Major financial players are already adapting to this new reality. Global banks, investment funds, and advisory firms are quietly boosting their IQD reserves. These aren't speculative gestures, they're calculated plays based on detailed forecasting and risk modeling. When institutional money starts positioning for long-term gain, it's usually not far off the mark, and where the big players lead, retail investors often follow. Online forums, currency dealers, and trading platforms are reporting significant increases in IQD interest and transaction volumes. This isn't hype. It's backed by new laws, stronger policies, and measurable results. The wider regional implications are just as striking. A successful revaluation in Iraq could spark a domino effect throughout the Middle East. Nations like Jordan, Iran, and others with resource-based economies may feel pressure to revisit their own currency strategies. Iraq's growing strength could set a standard for how fiscal independence and monetary reform can uplift a national currency. Already, we're seeing signs of this. New oil contracts are being rewritten, regional trade corridors are being restructured, and major shipping and logistics networks are bracing for increased demand. This is not abstract theory, it's visible, coordinated economic activity, and at the heart of it all is the Iraqi dinar. Skeptics still exist, as they do with any major financial shift. They question whether these developments are real or if they're just another hopeful narrative. But what sets this moment apart is the fact that Iraq has already executed much of the necessary groundwork. The revaluation isn't being teased through vague speeches, it's being built through new regulations, passed legislation, upgraded financial infrastructure, and deliberate policy steps. Even central bank officials who once shied away from revaluation talk are now openly referencing Iraq's economic transformation. Legal frameworks have been adjusted, digitized systems are live, and the market itself is starting to price in the potential for an official shift. On the global stage, Forex traders from New York to Singapore are taking notice. Major trading platforms are showing increased IQD activity. Some have even added custom alerts and tracking systems for the dinar, something unthinkable just a few years ago. Financial blogs, market analysis tools, and currency aggregators are publishing daily updates focused on Iraq. This level of attention was unheard of until recently, but now the perception is clear. Iraq is no longer just a risk, it's a comeback story with legitimate momentum. In financial markets, perception creates power. Once confidence begins to build, it reinforces itself. That's exactly what we're seeing unfold. As awareness spreads, investor behavior shifts, media coverage expands, and the IQD continues to gain traction. Every policy win, every economic report, and every diplomatic success adds to the momentum. And when the tipping point arrives, those who stayed patient will likely find themselves in a position few ever expected. Every major currency revaluation throughout history has created both winners and those who missed the signal. The winners are the ones who understood the fundamentals early and stayed the course. The others were too quick to dismiss progress, missing the fact that real reform was taking place behind the scenes. When Iraq does move to adjust the dinar's value officially, it won't just reward speculation. It will reward discipline, long-term thinking, and strategic positioning. As of now, there is no confirmed date. The Iraqi government is keeping specifics close, which is expected. Major financial changes rarely happen with public countdowns, but all the indicators, rising foreign reserves, reduced dollar reliance, fiscal stabilization, expanded trade deals, are lining up. And if that pattern continues, the IQD could soon become one of the biggest stories in the currency world this year. This moment isn't just about a new exchange rate. It's about restoring a country's financial dignity after years of war and external interference. It's about proving that recovery is possible, even when the odds seem long. And it's about rewarding those who didn't just believe blindly, but who paid attention to policy, legislation, and reform. Iraq's revaluation story is still being written, but based on everything we've seen, the next chapter promises to be significant. As always, we encourage our viewers to remain informed, stay grounded, and be ready. This channel, Iraqi Dinar News, will continue to track developments, provide verified updates, and help you navigate every twist in this journey. If today's report brought you insight or renewed your optimism, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and share your thoughts. Are you holding dinar? What's your outlook on the next move? Remember, in the world of currency, those who wait wisely often win. Iraq has shown it can be patient and disciplined. Now the question is, are you? Thank you for watching. This is Iraqi Dinar News, signing off for now, but keeping a close watch on what may be one of the biggest financial shifts of our time.